In this video, I'm going to show you what happens to an epoxy cutting board after 1 year of everyday use and how to make it last forever. Hey beautiful people, welcome to Again Craft. I know the beard is gone, it's temporary, okay? I had an accident with my trimmer and I had an evil mustache with the goatee. I just got rid of the whole thing, so it is what it is. I haven't seen my own face in 10 years, so let's just get this out of the way. It's as weird to me as it is to you. Hi, I'm Bela, and I've been making and selling resin creations for more than a year now. And many times I've been asked, do you actually use these resin cutting boards, or like, can you use it as regular cutting boards, or is it just more like for just show and display, or how durable they are? Can you actually put them in the dishwasher, or how do you clean them properly, or just all these questions about it, right? Now, I decided a year ago that I'll run an experiment on this to answer these questions to my customers as honestly and truthfully as I possibly can. And you guys know me. I personally hate people who just make up shit and just try to sell you anything at all costs. You know me. I'm not that kind of guy. But anyway, I digress. I decided to make a video about this because I wanted to show my results to my fellow makers, you guys. I want this video to give you some idea on this subject so you can answer these questions to your customers honestly and truthfully, or you can direct them to this video to teach them about how to make their cutting board last as long as possible. But anyway, enough chit chat, let's get into this. This board is one of my earliest experiments. It is of course a failure. It is not ready for selling. It was never meant to be sold, but I salvaged it as much as I humanly can, and this was basically the experiment board I used. Basically a black resin base with a stepped pine slab in the middle. I torched it up a little bit. I poured some more mica infused resin around it, and I covered it with clear coat. Okay, so yeah, I know it sucks, but hey, this was my first it was my first cutting board, so please go easy on me in the comment section, okay? Once it was cured, I used it in my kitchen every day, and I don't go gentle on it. I abuse it, I use it, I throw it around, etc. I use Scotch-Brite on it regularly, wash it regularly with hot water and dish soap in the sink, you know. However, I never put it in the dishwasher because I assume the heat would just deform it and warp it, and I didn't want to do that. Anyway, the first and most regular question I get is it safe to put food on it? Well, in general, my answer is it depends. It depends on the type of resin used, depends on the chemical composition of the hardener, depends on what we deem safe. Based on which country's regulatory system we use, you know. The epoxies I use are all advertised as food safe, but every epoxy thing you make is volatile, which means it off-gases and loses molecules over time, over the years, from its surface due to deterioration and UV light. So my answer to this, it is more safe for food than your average dollar store plastic cutting boards. And of course, all those worried about microplastics, I always say my grandpa had lead, my dad had asbestos, and I have microplastics in me, so don't stress about it too much. In the end, we're not here for a long time, we are here for a good time. But anyway, the next question I always get is, does it scratch? How hard is it? Can you cut on it? Well, let's have a closer look at the surface. As you can see, this bad boy has seen some shit. The scratches go as deep as 10-20 thousandths of an inch, or 0.2 millimeter for my normal people. As you can see, this board held up better than your average restaurant grade high density polyethylene, HDPE, or polypropylene, PP. cutting boards. The other concern I hear a lot is about how to keep it nice, how to keep it in a nice condition. If it is already scratched up, how can you make it look good again, and how easy it is to maintain? Well, when this comes up, I always tell my customer the story of how butcher's blocks are kept fresh. You see, a butcher is using his cutting boards and blocks more than anyone on God's green earth. So they come up with a solution for this problem. Simply, they just remove the top damaged layer of the board and they carry on working. In our case, I would recommend sanding the cutting board flat until the scratches are gone. As you can see, after a year of normal everyday wear and tear, there isn't too much of a damage on this board and there's plenty of life left in it. So as I said, your first step is flattening the scratches out. You can do it by hand, but I would always recommend use a cheap little orbital sander. You can get them for $20 in a hobby store or in your DIY store. Oh, by the way, this video is sponsored by you, the viewer. I don't sell out. I don't shill. I don't try to sell you some rebranded price hike stuff. I'm 100% real and honest. And all these lovely people think that too, so they support me paying the bills every month. So if you like my shit and want to support me in some way, you can tip me at buymeacoffee.com/egginacraft, or if you want something in return, you can buy some art from my webshop at egginacraft.com, links in the description. Or if you don't want to spend your hard-earned money on some random dude on the internet, that is understandable too. You can help me with liking, sharing, commenting on this video so that the YouTube gods think that my stuff is actually worth showing to people on the front page. Once you have sanded the scratches out, you can go two ways from here. If you have enough material thickness, you can just sand the surface up to the desired smoothness using increasing grits. Mind you, if you have bare wood surfaces on your board, it's not recommended to sand the wood more than 180 grit, because that would just pack the sawdust in the grains, and when you oil your board, it will not penetrate the wood grain. Check out my video on how to oil wood on my channel if you're interested. However, you can sand the resin up to 510K, even use normal car polish and cheap polisher for a mirror shine. Again, I have a video on that too, but if you wanna satin finish, I would definitely recommend stopping around 400 grit and then use oil to protect the surface and bring out the details. And if you don't have enough material thickness left, the solution is way easier than the sanding method. Simply just use packing tape around the board's edge, make sure you seal it well. You're building a dam in essence. Then you mix some resin and pour it into the little pool you just built, and before the resin hardens, you remove the tape and let the excess resin pour down on the edges. Or you can just leave it cure with the dam on. Doesn't really matter. In conclusion then, after a year of normal wear and tear, my board held up pretty much better than the restaurant grade boards, okay? It was really easy to clean, maintain, and keep it fresh. And it is relatively easy to renew, because either you just sand down the top coat, or if you run out of top coat, you just put a little bit of clear resin on top of it, you know. So, I mean, this is better than the restaurant grade plastic boards, and it is much better than the dollar store boards. So the only better board than a resin board is, I guess, would be real wood cutting boards, okay? Because those are antibacterial and very easy to maintain. You just sand it off. Only thing is, you can't add layers to it. All right. Now, I really hope I was able to help you with my experiment and give you some real non-bullshit answers to you or to your customers or whoever had this question in your surroundings. Again, please feel free to share this knowledge with others in the resin scene, your friends, your customers, your clientele. You know, send them this video or tell them yourself whatever floats your boat. Again, if you like my stuff and if you want to help me grow, please consider supporting the channel by subscribing, liking, commenting this video, or in any other way. I have all my links down in the video description, so please consider that. Thank you again for watching, guys. Don't forget, keep creating, because art belongs to everyone. And we can only make the world a better place if we are creating art. Thanks again for watching. I love you guys all, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.